And I can't think of another opportunity currently, a platform as a businessman who's owned a business, who had a lot of overhead, a lot of employees, and was going to sell my business for a lot of money that someone else is then going to have to buy, leverage their house, borrow probably, and then pour money into, and then pay a big price for, and hopefully eventually get past all that years down the road, instead of doing none of that for just a price of a premium kit and a couple $100 a month, be in a position you can literally make more money than any franchise you could ever buy, with a lot more joy, a lot more power. So this is just the most wonderful reality we live in right now. And this daily method of operation is so important. And here's where we feel sometimes we may fail out. Well, so let's take a look at this on this main component of the daily method of operation in relation to the PRO system, and think about the R, which is the follow-up, the revisit. Right? And here it is. You got to have a belief system. Belief is contagious. Belief is what empowers you. And so what I just shared with you before in these 3 circles is supposed to give you a concept of where you are going. You've got to know where you are going. And here's the deal. You may not know fully right now because you're still testing the waters in this opportunity. You're trying to see if this thing's going to really work or not. And that's how I was when I first came in. Yet I was excited, but I had a doubt in the back of my mind. Is this thing really real? Can I really start making more money that's going to replace my current income? And will it make more money than that? And is it really going to last? And all these internal thoughts I had. And I know you have them too. Listen, we all do. We all have these doubts. We all are asking ourselves, is this really going to be real? Can I really do this? Let me share some with you. It's quite okay to have those thoughts. It is absolutely normal. But what you've got to do is don't give those thoughts a voice. What you do is you give your best life a voice. You give your dream a voice. You give God a voice over you, to believe that he speaks life over you, that he believes the best for you, and that you begin to gain a vision of where you are going in this opportunity. And so maybe right now you're going to manager. Maybe you're going to director. Maybe you're going to senior director. And it's, why is that? Why are you going there? What is driving you there? What's helping you lift your eyes up a little further to maybe you can be believing towards the edge of where your dreams begin to really start? This is reality. This is where the programming begins of your future. It begins in you believing that brighter days lie ahead and you're the captain of your ship. But truly, God is the one who owns the ship, owns the water, he owns it all, and that you're going to steward this ship in the direction that you desire. You're going to ask God to get you there, right? So you're going to believe where you're going. And where you're going to believe you're going, this is a team effort. And you're going to believe you're going to find every single person God has designed to come with you. Listen, we have, a couple weeks ago, I said, hey, I've got like 36,000 people on my team. Today, I got 39,000. I didn't do that. All right. God's favor, this system, the power of word of mouth, the patch, and all these other variables in the compounding factor of word of mouth is sitting there available for many of us. And so, but here's the deal. And you have to start finding your 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And then you got to begin finding your 20 left and 20 right. And then go do it again. And you keep doing everything you got to do until you get to where you got to go. And why are you going to do that? Because you have a why. You have a why that makes you cry. And what's your why? Your why is if you begin dreaming and thinking about what you want, and then you begin to think, if I don't achieve it, and you start crying, now you know you got the right why. Now you know you got some power. So before you make that phone call, you've got some mission. You got a purpose on that call that, hey, I'm going to find everybody I'm calling. I'm going to find every single one that God has for me. And so I'm going to keep on getting after it. And how quickly can I get after it in the lifestyle that I currently have, managing my full-time job, my family, and everything else? How quickly can you get after it? But here's the deal. Welcome to the show, people. Some will, some won't. Keep moving. Find them all. Find them all. Don't stop until you do. We're still looking for more. Well, Ken, you've got like 39,000 people. No, I actually have almost 55,000 people. I didn't tell you about the overflow leg. And we want to 10x where we're at. So we got a lot more people to find. Why do we want to 10x? Because I know my why. I know that we're going to go build a business that's going to fund ministries to reach 1 billion people for Christ. I know that we're going to basically partner with other people to basically secure apartment complexes and larger estates and things that we're going to be able to house ministries inside of to help heal the brokenhearted. And we know we're going to secure a light jet company with other business partners to be able to help reach the remote ends of the world with medical supplies and things that are needed. And we just know this is going to happen. And 6 months ago, a year ago, I would have never believed this. But God has begun to open my eyes to show me he's got a heart and he's able, if I will just give him the opportunity based on what he put in my heart. What has he put in your heart? If you don't see it yet, it's okay. Begin to look for it, begin to pray for it, begin to ask for it, and understand that every phone call you make, every phone call is mission critical to where you're going to go, because you got to get to all the no's to find all the yeses who's going to be with you. And here's the thing. When you call, it's important to understand that you love the people that you're calling. You're following up with people because you care. How many people are calling the same friends and family you're calling with a heart like yours? I'd say almost none. So guess what? When you really do care about the person you're calling, even if some of you haven't talked to in 5 years, but you do it because you care. It's not just for you to hit a rank. It's because you have something that can literally change their life. Love conquers all. It's part of the belief system. You put love behind that call, they'll feel it. They'll sense it. You ask God to bring that love forward. And you know what? They may not tell you that, but they will appreciate it and they will respect it. And that should give you more greater feeling that even if they don't agree with you, they'll respect you. Because people do respect somebody who's not afraid to keep moving to get after where they're going. Because subconsciously they know they may not make the calls, but you did. And good for you that you're showing up for yourself, showing for God, and showing for your beliefs to change our lives. So in the follow-up, here's some questions for you to ask them. Because people say, hey, Ken, what do I say when I follow up with somebody? Well, ask them their thoughts on how this patch could help them. You know, I was at church last night and got excited, saw some friends we hadn't seen, the family in a long time, 4 of them. Husband, wife, and 2 older sons, and they all excited. And so I patched 2 of them, shared the opportunity. They were too busy today and doing a whole ton of things, and finally got a hold of them. And with the mission in my mind that I've got to get this whole family on a Zoom at one time, and I got to make sure they're hugging me in town because I know the boys are traveling back. And I found out they're going to be here tomorrow to 5. And I said, listen, can we get on a Zoom at 2 tomorrow? And so, but I asked them their thoughts. I said, hey, listen. Because they said, Ken, what are we going to do on the Zoom? I said, let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on this patch? Flipped it around. Well, we all think we need, from what you share, we all think we at least want to try the patch first before we share with other people. And I'm not going to convince them otherwise. I said, oh, good. So now they're they have a willingness. Great. And why is that? Well, my soon-to-be wife's got this going on, eczema, sent her eczema testimony, what have you. So, but I asked them, how could this patch help them? Well, they want to wear it because they want to believe it, because they know they have a lot of friends that can help. So boom, I got a why out. And I asked them, are you willing to wear it until you see what you're looking for? I mean, at a minimum, you're willing to wear it 90 days because 97%. Are you willing to do that? Yeah, Ken, we're going to be willing to do that. Boom. Next found I got laid. And I'll ask them, well, why is that? You can never hurt by asking someone the question why. When you start asking why, watch what happens in the power you get in the connection you have in your conversation with somebody. And I'll ask them, because I already kind of led them, but you want to ask, who are the 4 people closest to them that could benefit from the most from this patch? Who are the 4 people closest to you who could benefit the most from wearing this patch? Who could benefit the most from wearing this patch? Words are powerful. And when I say, hey, who are 4 people closest to you, love and care about? But then I say, who could benefit the most from wearing this patch? Sometimes they may shift those 4 to a different set of 4. And then the money, which is really time. Are there things financially they'd love to see this opportunity do for them? You know, the guys that said today, hey, is there anything that, if money could be a blessing in your life, like debt freedom, or if you got a spouse that you'd like to see come home because both of you are working, or do you need to fund more of your retirement? How would you like to travel to amazing places around the world for free? Does that speak to you at all? Does any of that appeal to you? You're asking a question. You're giving them control. You're planting a seed. Because even if they say no now, once they put the patch on and 2 weeks from now, 2 days from now, 2 months from now, all of a sudden, boom, they believe, well, that seed you planted about the financial opportunity, that begins to germinate. And this opportunity, as we shared earlier, the bigger part of this opportunity, in all reality, is bigger than the patch. Because listen, you and your friends can be healthy the rest of your life as you stay on the treadmill of life. But if we set you free from that treadmill, now you have time to truly achieve the things that God puts in your heart. So, what are you tracking with to manage this process? Everybody's a little different. People like electronics. I thought I used to. I try to skin the cat 6 ways on Sunday, and I find that paper works better for me. Crazy enough, with my cell phone in my calendar. I use a little bit of both. It doesn't matter. What's your daily method of operation that suits you for you? So when the board of directors who hired you as the CEO of your dreams would say, we're not firing this guy, he's doing a great job day in, day out running his dreams. What does it look like? And is your consistency solid? I can candidly tell you, mine has not been. And I'm going to change that because you deserve someone as your servant leader to lead by example. And so I apologize, for not being a better example. And so I could better relate and consistently be a blessing to you. And we do use, and I'll show you in a little bit, what we have used, and there are variations, but we're pulling it together, Diane and I are. And here's a quote to think about. Miss one day and follow up, it's a mistake. Miss 2 days, it's a habit. Break it. Your habits will crush your goals. I shared before, years ago, I couldn't stop eating most of my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm done. And then I discovered intermittent fasting, and once I did that, which is crazy, I just began to implement a daily habit of eating at a certain time a day, and it was naturally a lot less. And I had a goal to lose X amount of weight. But what happened is, because I was in this habit 7 days a week, my habit crushed my goals as if they were non-existent. I went right past that weight, walked right past it. Didn't have to think about my goal. Habits are everything. So your daily PRO habit is everything, the follow-up habit. And here's something to help empower you as another belief statement as we move forward here. The world around you is counting on you every single day. There are people waiting. I was waiting for Joyce, and she stayed on me. She didn't know the pain I was in with how my company was dogging me. Now, after COVID, a company I had that was worth almost $2 million is now worth a whole lot less, and I may have to reinvent the whole thing and think I just spent 10 years for what? She didn't know the pain I was in, and thank God she stayed. She stayed in the game. Stay in the game. Stay PROing, patching, revisiting, follow-up. Stay in the follow-up. The fortune's there. We're all on this call today because Joyce followed up with me. Stay in the game. Here's a tracker I created. There's another one you can go into. This is a team. I just needed something that's just a little more simpler, and I needed to start to finish. Here's the date I talked to somebody, the name, who they are. I already have their, because I got their name, they're in my cell phone. I don't need their cell number on here. And I wonder what's their why. So I wrote each of the people from last night what their why was at church. And so when I follow up, I remember. And I know I passed them, right? So I put a patch and I gave them the this is it info. So I put x39.com. That's my little thing in there. And then I revisited today, and I know tomorrow I've got to Zoom with them. I'll put a little date in there, right? And then if I sign them up, what pack did they buy? What auto ship are they on? And now I'm going to launch them. I'm going to get them plugged into the system. And then, in short, I'm just doing a short shot of this. And then do they go manager, director, senior director? So now I almost have like a business plan for everybody I'm following up with. And I got 12 names on the page, and I can flip that page over. So when you're looking at what I have here, it looks like this. And I bound it in a spiral bound. I put a cover on it. I call it Dream Builder. Put a little scripture in there. And I just, now I can just take this with me, and I can throw it in the car. I can throw it in my briefcase. I can throw it with me. But it's powerful. And these are the pages that's in it, one after another. Because I can just flip the page and see who I need to follow up with, who I've been, And so it just makes it really easy. And then I can put something in my calendar I need to.